Her Opinion Show, the podcast you didn't know you needed. Real talk, bold truth, her voice, her vision, her rules. Let's get into it. Hey, we are back. It's freaking time all over again. New week, new guest. And I'm excited. Her Opinion Show, Holly Cotton is on today. Holly, I had the pleasure of running into you. We were following each other already, but I had the pleasure of running into you, of course, at where? Box 26.
Right.
Nightcap.
Yeah.
And we had a time.
We did.
We had a time. We've hung out and love you. Love you, girl.
Oh.
Okay. So you are a woman of many hats, but the one I'm talking about today is the dating.
The important hat.
The important hat. We're talking about dating like a CEO because that's how I feel you're running things, okay?
Okay.
So explain to me, first of all, to me, when I say dating like a CEO, I'm talking about mergers. I'm talking about acquisitions, like doing it with the men versus doing it with business acquisitions and stuff like that. But what I'm saying is, how do you approach it in a way that someone out there could say, okay, this makes sense?
So I think the easiest explanation of that is to use an analogy like Indeed or Monster or a job website. If you look at it, what do they always have? What are the traits that they're looking for in this employee? What are they wanting you to bring to it? What are the things that they value? And then also, what do they have in that? The company statement, right? What are the things that I value? What are the things that I'm looking for? So I think that it's important whenever you're looking for a partner that you also emulate that process, because you need to know, what are you looking for? What are the traits that you want? What are the values that you have? And then also having a foundation of knowing who I am, what I'm bringing, so that way I can make sure that whoever I get in the interview process is someone that I actually am aligned with, or else it's going to end in a failure.
So basically, you're doing your due diligence.
Yeah.
on them.
Well,
yes.
and let me, if you don't mind if I butt in on that, because I am
Yes.
single. So
The expert. over
Don't
here
mingle.
at our
No.
panel. Expert at our panel.
Okay, so yes, we all know what we want, right? We know that we're not, I don't want this, I want that. But it's not like LinkedIn where you go on there and the bio is there. You've got the history written out. So are you asking these questions on the first date or before the first date on the phone?
So I think that it's part of that weed out process, right? So of course, whenever we're talking about the example of, yes, we have the job duties, we have what we're doing, it's more of an informal, let's at least know what we're getting into, right? So if you're intentionally dating, then you need to be saying, I'm intentionally looking for a partner. I'm looking for a life partner. I'm ready to settle down. If you're not, if this is a temporary employment, then you need to say that, hey, this is a holiday season. I just need some, some extra employees right now. Like just be vocal and be specific. Be honest and be specific about what you want and then what you don't want. And I think that that's the biggest, I guess, whenever we're putting it together, how they are linear when you're talking about a business versus your life, and what are the outcomes that you're getting because you're not being intentional.
Right.
And mostly because you're about to invest a lot of time. And I know that as a CEO, as the owner of any kind of company, the owner of your life, your time is precious. And if I'm going to be investing time going out on a second, third, fourth date, I'm pretty sure you want to do your due diligence.
Exactly.
And you have to know like the questions, like you were saying, you already kind of, if you've been doing this a long time, you kind of know what you're already going to ask. You already know, even coming in, this is not going to work out.
Time is money.
Yes.
Time is money. And
not
we
gonna work
all
out.
don't have all the time in the world.
Well, the good thing is that I was in management administration for a long time. So 10 years of my career as a nurse, I've been in management. So what I've learned is people will tell you what you need to know about them without even knowing it, if you're creating a comfortable environment. And that's how I usually am whenever I'm going out, when I'm meeting someone. That's how I function as well. I always say a man will tell you exactly what he's looking for if you shut up and listen. In that first date, that second date, he's going to tell you what happened, why he and his ex broke up, what's wrong with his baby mama, what his mama did to him when he was a child that he's now bringing the trauma in.
Right.
Like, just listen.
Yeah.
And then you're not being fake, but but you are attuned to the things that he's wanting. And if this is someone that you're interested in investing in, I just give a little bit more of the things that they're lacking or the things that they're looking for, and then poof.
And making sure that they talk, because a lot of times they're trying to be a gentleman and want to know more about you. And we all like talking about ourselves.
And as a woman,
you want to begin to talk.
But again, that's what we're differentiating the difference between men and women. And women get in, they start yapping. You didn't no. So that's what I'm saying. The reverse is be quiet and listen to him. Listen to what he's doing. So again, I'm just like, oh, okay.
So he can tell you.
But you don't have to come straight out and be like, so what do you want? Long-term goals? What is this? What is that? What is that? Like, no, we're not berating them and being desperate. You're just listening like, oh, so
he's in the conversation.
What's something that you love to do for fun? Okay.
And stop and listen for the red flags.
That part too. Because they'll come out. That's what I'm saying. They will tell you everything you need to know if you just listen.
Right. Okay.
But that's
got it. So go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say, and I mean, you're a strong woman, and just to make sure that they don't get intimidated by you, because I know that, when I was transitioning, there was a lot of intimidation because I was a business owner. Sometimes the way that you talk, you can weed it out that way. Just the way that you talk, you can see the way how they respond to you.
Yeah, well, I agree with that. But I mean, I think I do a little too much of that. That might be my problem, but we're not going to talk about that.
Okay. Enough about you.
Forget about me. Forget my problems. But so
can't fix you in just 20 minutes, boo.
Okay, exactly. We got that much time. Yeah. But in a situation like, okay, business meeting or a date, whatever you want to call it, how do you get out of a situation? What if you're in a situation that you're not feeling it, you're not aligning? Some women would say it's a free meal. Others would say, this is not worth it. I don't want to be here. Kind of, coffee date, whatever it was that you went. What do you seem to do to get out of these situations?
Well, one, I never do anything I don't enjoy or I don't like. So that's easy for me.
You haven't had to cross that path.
Oh, I'm never going to be the one that's just for a free meal. Baby, I'll get my own meal on the way home. I will stop at Chick-fil-A on the way home if it's that serious. Yeah. But I mean, I've been honest, and I've had people be honest to me. I had a guy one time, an older gentleman, and he was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how compatible do you think we are? And I was like, honestly, I'm thinking like a 6 or a 7. And he was like, yeah, I was like, we have a great friendship and we have great conversation. But he was like, I'm trying to figure it out. And I was like, yeah, well, if we have to figure it out and we have to put that much effort in, there's no chemistry there.
And that's first date?
Yeah, it was
a couple of days.
No, this was like we met and then we went on a date. And so just the conversation was great. So you've been talking
to him.
Yeah, like chit chat or whatever. Conversation was great, but then the date. No spark. And then we just agreed to it and we were just like, So we actually we finished dinner. And then we were just like, all right, well.
And do you keep friends?
Oh my gosh, all I have is male friends. Okay. I love male friends. I love and this is what I tell women all the time. You guys know I have multiple books trying to help women navigate single life, but having a heterosexual friendship is the key to being happy and not doing goofy stuff. Like having a man to tell you, code blue, do not do that. Like I have a male friend, I can be like, listen, this dude got me effed up today. I'm about to send this text. He's like, abort. Abort now. Go call someone else. Yes. Like, but if I pulled into my femininity and I went with the emotional side of things, then that would be what I would do. Like, overreact or be emotional or let things get under my skin. So it's important to have men. So I love hanging out with men. And not only that, men love having a platonic woman, heterosexual friend as well. Men, I could call 5 people right now who will go meet me right now at whatever restaurant I say. We will go laugh, have a great time, vibes. Now, they may be attracted to me. I might be attracted to them, but it stops at that. Like we value our friendship more than messing it up by doing something else.
So, okay. You just said there may be an attraction there because I have a lot of platonic guy friends too. Now they would all be with me if I let them.
Yes, of course.
But they're gentlemen. So, we'll go out to eat. They'll still pay. And they've been my friends for years. So I have no problem paying sometimes. Like there's nothing there.
I'm not paying, but yeah.
There's nothing there. And then, but with that, like you said, when you meet a new guy, okay, because these are old friends for me, but when you meet a new guy and you say you put them in the friend zone, is it really a safe zone though?
Yes. Everything that you do in your life is under your control. So if you can't control it, that's not what you need to be doing. So if you have to screw everyone who's an opposite sex friend, then that's not what you need to be doing. Then you are intentionally looking for a partner, and that's the path you need to go on. If you are just hanging out, having friends, having platonic relationships, just being like, hey, let's go, let's have fun, let's vibes, then you have to be able to handle what it is that you're looking for and what you're trying to do. Not everyone can do that. Yes. I'm good at it. I've always, even in high school, I've always been great at it. I've been the guy's girl. I've always been able to go hang out and go home. You don't have to screw everyone that you're with. And that's the problem. Just because we have a chemistry, just because, like my girlfriend, she was like, oh my gosh, I think, I forgot the verbatim what she said, but it was something like a guy was just trying to help me with a project I was doing because he wanted to have sex. And I was like, okay, well, who's to say I don't want to have sex with him? Like, it doesn't mean that I don't find him physically attractive as well, but there's that mutual respect. And I think that's what people have to realize. Just ride the lane that you know how to ride. And if you can't be in the fast lane, get in the slow lane.
And has anybody crossed the line where you kind of had to tell them, hey, wait a minute?
Oh, all the time.
And then, but does it go back to normal? Does it go back to a way it is?
Yes, no, because of course men will always say something flirty, or they'll be like, oh, you wearing them shorts, you wearing them jeans, and I keep it light. So I'll be flirty and I'll just be like, I come in, I'm gonna be fine. No, like, don't worry about me. And then I just keep it going. So they know that I'm basically bobbing and weaving and I'm not absorbing it. Now, if I'm feeding into it, if it's someone that I'm attracted to, then of course, then maybe I would entertain it. And
you're like, I want to cross the line too.
Yeah, then I would be like, you see what these shorts doing? You're leading. What happens if they off? Like, I don't know, but just, you gotta,
So that brings me to, dating like a CEO. So you would want to be approached in that same kind of vibe. So how would you suggest, if a man's out there, that he should approach somebody like you?
So honestly, this is the biggest thing that a man can do with a woman that is an overachiever, a woman that's an entrepreneur, a woman that is out here making decisions on a daily basis. The easiest thing for a man to do is, one, make sure it's someone that he's compatible with. Make sure that he is coming to them, I always say, parallel or above, because what that person has, do you have the same qualities and traits? Do you have the same values? Because then you can align with that person. And also, by making a woman feel safe, the chivalry, treating her like the princess, being a gentleman. You guys both said, I'm a sucker for a gentleman as well.
Oh, yeah.
I make decisions 50,000 times a day. If I'm with someone who can make me feel safe, that I can allow you to make a decision, that's the biggest turn on for me. That, oh my gosh, I don't have to figure everything out. He is able to make a decision and not screw up my life. Like, feeling safe for a woman who is a high achiever is like, oh my gosh, I don't care about, like I said, parallel or above. Like, I'm not saying be broke,
because there's nothing wrong with still opening the door.
I didn't say any man who feels safe. I'm saying once you've crossed that threshold of being parallel and aligning, now let's talk about making the woman feel safe and respected and valued. Those are things that money can't buy.
And so I know we're not in the phase of we're in a relationship or anything like that, but if you do meet somebody, you're vibing, you're having a good time, second date, whatever, what is the energy that you feel you need to keep being interested? What does the man need to keep doing? Because a lot of us are kind of weird when it comes to this. Women have some are up here, some are down here, meaning like, he just texted me. It's barely the next morning. You know what I'm saying? Some things are just cringe to people. And other people are like, he hasn't texted me yet. What is he doesn't like me? You know what I mean?
So which girl are you?
I'd probably be like, already texted.
How about you? Which girl are you?
Oh, no. Like me. I don't have time for games. If you like me, like me. If you think I'm sexy, tell me I'm sexy. If you love my outfit, tell me you love my
like
outfit.
the good morning text.
That's what I
love
like,
communication. I love, like, I don't have time for games. And here's the thing: if you know that we're friendly, you know we're friend zoning, you know we're navigating this, trying to figure out what's going on. This is the time. This is your combine. Like, you need to come all out to win me over. I need to know this is you miss me as soon as you woke up this morning. You're thinking about me.
And let's be honest, if you like somebody, it doesn't matter what they do.
No,
you're gonna like
for
it.
sure.
If it's cringe or bothers you, it's because you don't like them.
That's what,
you don't like them. That's the sign.
So that's why I said, hit them with on a scale of 1 to 10. How compatible do you think we are? Like, just be honest.
And that goes on to the next question. Are you willing to compromise some of the things? Maybe not the important things, but maybe some of the things that
are important
that are not that important. You know, like, oh, I don't like how he laughs. Are you going to break up with them because?
Well, we were never in a relationship. So, so again,
so you don't get into a relationship.
I'm not. No.
So you date. So that's the way that we should do it.
Yeah. So I think that you should
or not
date.
me, but
yes, I think that you should date. I think you should have friendly dates. I think you should get to know the person. Then you'll know. Do you like the laugh? Is that something that you can work with? If not, I think that we're already trying to put a label on something that doesn't need a label. Like, why are we already in a relationship if I never knew that you had a stinky laugh, or you know that whatever it is? Why are we in a relationship? I could be with someone for 6 months. Who's to say we have to have a title?
If it's a stinky laugh and you don't like it, it might not.
It was not going to work out.
He would have already got. He would have been in the friend zone a long time ago.
That's the key term.
You can listen to a friend laugh like that, but
I don't care. My friends, they can be as corny as they want. I'm like, baby, you someone else's problem. I do not. That ain't my problem.
No, seriously. But yeah. So, anyways, she says she doesn't get to the relationship side of it.
Yeah.
Okay. So
most people don't that are single,
I
unless
agree
you're
with you.
intentionally looking for someone to fall
And
in love
when you're
with.
an adult, it's a little bit weird sometimes saying, "Oh, that's my girlfriend, my boyfriend."
Yes.
It kind of feels, high schoolish or whatever.
Why do you have to put a title on everything?
Especially on today's social media days, where a girl's on a whole trip without a guy, but the guy paid for it.
Yeah, I know.
I stay out of business that don't pay me. That ain't my business.
She got no friends with her. What is going on? Someone's taking those videos and pictures, but. Okay, so you don't get to that point. So a roster. Is it okay for women to have rosters as dating like a CEO?
Why would you not have a roster? Why would, as a man dating, why would you not have a roster? You should, in my book, Somebody's Wife or Not, I always talk about the build a partner. It's the way that single people adapt. You always have several people in which we call a roster, but it's also build a bear. So you have your torso, who's your main person, who's the one you can call, who's the one you can go to when you're vulnerable. But then a lot of times single people adapt because maybe Maine is out of state, or maybe Maine is just as busy as you. Maybe Maine doesn't like to go to museums or do this thing, or you can't laugh goofy in front of him because you don't want to turn him off. So I might have an Arm. Arm loves going to watch Marvel action movies. Maine doesn't. He likes, biopics and documentaries.
Right.
So I may want to do paintball. I may want to do this, whatever. So a lot of times you wind up having multiple people. So you have extremities, you have a torso, you have a head.
You got that energy.
I'm just saying.
I'm like, I'm already tired.
No, but it's just the case. And not only that, but it's a good way for whoever is single to not get so invested, because that's what happens when your feelings get hurt. That's when you get emotional. That's when you make bad choices. That's whenever now you're saying how you got played and you got, your heart got broken or whatever. Why did your heart get broken from someone that you weren't even in a relationship with?
Yeah.
So if men and women learn how to navigate, it's okay. And you're not sleeping with everyone on your roster. We're talking about
if it's
friends.
that good. I mean, that means that because I don't see a lot of them that good out here to have a roster where you're sleeping with them, all of them.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Now, people assume that whenever you say roster, oh my gosh, so she's sleeping with 5 people. No, usually your main is the one that you're sleeping with, and then the other ones are the ones that you go hang out with and go to the movies on.
And some of those
Tuesdays.
are friends.
Yes,
some
and
of they're friends.
Yeah,
friendships.
They're not all.
Learn to embrace a friendship.
I think that's a problem, though. I think it has to be very comfortable for two people, because obviously you may say, this guy seems like a really cool dude, a good friend. Now, I don't want to date him, but he's like, He's trying to be your friend.
Yes.
He's like,
But that's why we said be honest at the beginning. When I walk in and I'm talking to someone, I'm already explaining like, oh, this is, or I may be like, oh, this is one of my friend. You know, this is another, just so you know that I am talking to other people, that we are having other interactions going on. Like, this is not the only thing that I'm doing today or this week. You know, I think that it's important to just be honest. And if you're looking for that and you're looking for that companionship, then also be honest.
Yeah. Well, listen. We could talk about this all day.
All day.
You know, and they're still going to make mistakes out there.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we came up with the little game.
Okay, good. I'm ready for it.
Before we play that game, I want you to just tell us real quick about the books. Okay. Tell us what you got going on. So please.
Especially this one.
Yes. Okay. Well, this was my newest book. So 2 summers ago, I wrote Somebody's Wife or Not, Discovering Self. Yes, okay. Thank you. Because, you know, I like my little name.
You like to show them off.
So this one was called Somebody's Wife or Not, Discovering Self-Love and Single Life. And basically, I was talking to a lot of single people, males and females, and I started realizing that there were some common trends. So I said, you know what, let me write a book about it. So it talks about communication, talks about Build-A-Bear, talks about how you need to address the accountability issues that a lot of us
build
lack.
A bear, like build a guy as a build a bear.
Well, or build a partner.
That's awesome.
Men and women, because we both do the same. I never say women or men, because we all doing the same thing.
Is there anything about returns in that book?
No, you can't return Build a Bear.
No, not return the book. Return the Build a Bear.
That's what I'm saying. You can't return the Build a Bear.
But that's the thing with Build a Bear. You can just take off the arm and get another one.
Ooh,
and then I know. So then last summer I wrote Don't Call Them, which is a book about resisting the urge to call the ex, which is Lotto when she came in, because we were on a show together, and she was like, I'm not texting him. So what do you do whenever you're in love with someone? How do you stop it? How do you get over the ex? So that's what Don't Call Them was about. Okay. So then after I wrote Don't Call Them, everyone kept coming up to me and they were like, but listen, I'm not ready. I'm still in love with him. But and I would say, well, what did they do to cause the breakup? So that's why F them, say it, mean it, and move on.
Came right
about
into
it.
F
Because
them was just waiting.
Because I'm like, okay, if you're not ready to have the spiritual journey, if you're not ready to chart about it, document, wrong job. If you're not ready to, my nurse's job, if you're not ready to journal about it and address the accountability, sometimes you need to say it, mean it. But then I also have some affirmations about F them, and then also how to move on, because it's very important for whatever it is. Deal with the trauma, say it, mean it, but then how do you move on? Because you don't want to keep giving them the power of that. And then the men were like, oh my gosh, I want to support you, but I keep feeling like all of these are chick books or whatever. I said, no worries. I got one right here. No Hands, Giving Her the Best Night of Her Life Without Touching Her. And this is a book about intimacy for men, how to read a woman, how to give a woman the best night of her life before you even get her in the husbands. Husbands. I sold a bunch of these for Valentine's Day. And so women probably gave them to their spouses. But February was a big month for this book. But then, so I have that as well. So again, I try to always talk about the positive side of things, because, you know, okay, so you're somebody's wife or not. You know, you don't need a title to identify your value in the world. You know, that's great. I've been a wife before. I was a wife for 17 years. I'm not hating on marriage. Good for you guys that are happily married. But if you're not, if you're a partner and you broke up, if your spouse died, you might be widowed right now. Sometimes your spouse can come home and tell you they met someone else. They don't want to be here anymore. Being single is not always a choice. And so while you're in that single chapter, how do you embrace it and become the best version? How do you love yourself? Right. So that's what I talk to the people who are stuck where they don't know how to get past it. And so again, they're funny. Say it. F them for not knowing your value. F them for that. Say the affirmation, read why that affirmation, but then at the end work through it with the end as well, so you can move on and stop giving them power.
I think I have a book that I'm thinking about, and when I need to accomplish it first, because I'm thinking it in my head now that you said that, and then I'm going to call you, Holly, and be like, I need you to help me with this book.
Actually, I have a book. It's called Ink and Imagination, and it tells you how to write a book.
Okay, love it.
Because people always want that, and I'm like, actually, I even have a book about how to write a book, so you can write your own book.
Yeah.
Well, you can get those books from Holly. Holly, tell them where they can find those
anywhere
books.
That sells books. Amazon, of course, but I have global distribution. You can buy it all around the world. Anywhere that sells books, Barnes and Nobles, Walmart, Target, Books A Million, anywhere.
Okay.
like a CEO.
Yes. And so we're going to play a game now.
Yes, I'm ready. Let's
We're
roll
going
with
to end with some fun.
it. Okay. Hire,
So you got
fire, or promote.
You've got
okay.
3 note cards there that hire, fire, because we're dating like a CEO, and promote.
Okay.
So I'll read the question.
Okay.
And you're going to choose.
I'm going to give you an answer.
Yes, ma'am. So, okay. First question. So the guy who texts what you doing every night but never makes plans.
Oh, gosh. Fire.
That was easy. We know that.
Yeah,
That's definitely
so
a fire.
easy. Yes.
How about the guy bro who posts shirtless selfies daily? He's in the gym.
No, wait.
No,
she likes kind of.
I like that
I feel
because
like
I
that.
like it's part of
Okay.
being fit. I don't mind.
Promote.
Okay.
Yeah, well,
Or
hire. Yeah, hire
hire.
him.
Okay.
Yeah,
Hire.
I love people that love themselves. So
Okay.
whatever it is that you do and you post that you could like to eat.
Just not too much where it's like kind of like.
no, I
Okay.
love that for
Okay.
you. Be who
Okay.
you are.
Well, we'll find out if he gets promoted later.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Right.
So the millionaire entrepreneur who also still believes in astrology. Well, that's kind of dumb. I don't know about that one. I mean, I don't care what if they believe.
They
I don't
believe in
care.
Yeah,
astrology
I
or
mean,
Let's
not.
skip that one. That was
I'm
boring.
a Virgo, so I'm always blaming it on Virgo. Well, you know I'm a Virgo. Well, you know
The
how
next
Virgos
one,
are.
the next one, that one should be
Okay.
about the DC agenda.
Yeah. So the guy who still plays video games 6 hours a day at 38.
Oh God, fire! Because how do you have that much time on your hand? Unless you're
They
unless you're
relax.
getting
They
paid
like-
for it, like
Mhm.
because
Yeah.
they did say
No,
T-Pain was
My
getting
son,
$1 million
yeah.
a day
So
or
you
something.
can't. He may be that
Yeah.
38-year-old.
Yeah.
But if you're getting paid for it,
That's
it's a job.
Why
if it's your
not?
job,
Yeah.
Why
right?
not?
Can you log off?
Yes,
Yeah.
okay.
yeah.
So, and we don't know where we'll be pretty soon. You
Yeah.
might not be
It
able
might-
to log off.
Exactly.
Thank you. Right.
Okay, so the guy, another one, the sweet guy who earns less than you but treats you like a queen.
How much less? What is the
What's
what
your breaking point? Because
is,
we only got 3 cards now.
I know.
I don't know. I would have to see one.
Hire, not promote.
Definitely not promote, and definitely not. I don't know. I would need some more details
That'd be,
on it.
yeah.
Because
Okay.
I need to know when you say makes less, like what does that mean?
Well,
Because
makes, maybe $20,000 less than you.
okay, I could deal with $20,000,
Okay.
but not.
But not
Your
like
annual
20,000
income.
a year.
Yeah.
Okay, y'all just
Got
messed
it.
the whole game up.
Okay,
Okay,
I'm
cut
sorry.
her off. Hey, last question,
Right.
Jen.
All right. The guy who believes in traditional gender roles, but he's also broke. I guess
Oh,
it goes with the same
it goes
thing.
with the same one.
Same
So,
thing. Fire?
fire.
Okay. All right.
well, I mean, that's it.
Yes.
Listen,
It
we
was
appreciate
fun.
you. Yes,
Now we know
thanks
a
for
little
coming
bit
in.
more about you.
Yes,
that we know.
We'll
And
have you back,
whoever's
Holly, because I
watching-
feel like this never ends for women.
It doesn't.
And men. I mean, it's a problem out here
yeah.
on these streets.
For sure.
So you got to date like a CEO. Treat
Anytime
your
you need
love
me to
life.
come on and
yes.
give people.
Wait,
There's
treat
more
your love
subjects.
life like you want your business plan, right?
There you go.
Yeah, and there's
It
so
has
many
to.
more subjects we could probably get into.
Yes,
You
we
have
could
what,
definitely
16 books?
sidebar.
16 books?
I
So
I have a book for every genre of that
yeah.
you need.
So we got a book you.
Single segment
Again.
coming soon.
Yes. All right.
Thanks, Holly. See you soon, guys. See you next week.